Hello and welcome. I am the Suit&Tie, Dip&ChewGuy, and this is a Nerf review. This is a blaster review. I have finally gotten around to doing one, so it is happening right now. The blaster I'm going to show you is motorized. I think very highly of it, which is really something coming from me because I am not a big fan of motorized blasters. I am more of a pump priming, spring-powered guy. This one, however, has two motors running two flywheels that sort of spit the darts out. So why am I starting with something that normally I wouldn't go to? This is the one that I can use with like my nephews or the neighbor's kids, but it's still stronger than anything by Hasbro, that is Nerf. This is the review of Dartzone's Spectrum in red. Okay, so this is part of the Adventure Force line, which is a line sold by Walmart. So it's an Adventure Force Spectrum. The product is made by Dartzone, all right? This one is in red. Originally, this blaster only came in sort of a nuclear lime green. I will be in the description linking to the Walmart page for this blaster. I believe the red ones are available now online. Originally, they were only in store. For some reason, if they are not available online, I will link to the green version. But if that is the case, keep in mind, you could find these if you actually went into a Walmart. So, it's motorized. It has a lot of parts. You have the blaster right here. You have a detachable faux scope. It's got a crosshairs in there, but there is no magnification or anything of that. It is basically for looks and makes kids happy. All right. You have a detachable magazine. I'm not a fan of this magazine. It only holds 10 darts. You can really start flying through darts with a motorized blaster. It's just too little. Even moving up to a 12 dart magazine would be an improvement. This right here coming off right there, you see that? That was the detach latch for the magazine. All right. You then have this, which is a forward grip. It's got two buttons. The first moves it from up to down position, and the second, you can slide it off a faux Picatinny rail that is on there, but you have to have the magazine removed to do that. And then you have the detachable stock. The stock, if it would cooperate, is got 4 points on it. All of them are too short for me. So, going to the other side here, you have the jam door. All right. Jam doors on dart blasters are basically if you have to access from more than one point to get a dart out of whatever mechanism or tube, barrel, etc. So what you normally do is you remove the magazine and one finger enters through the magazine well and the other through the dart door, and you sort of tweezer the dart out using your fingers, or maybe chopsticks would be a better mental image. All right, so that's the dart door. Back here, being held in by that one screw, is the battery tray. So I'm going to open it up because it is a little bit different. Hasbro line products, Nerf guns. Their motorized blasters run almost all of them, except for some products that are a little bit out of the norm. Most of the motorized products run off 4 AA batteries. All right. The Dartzone product, you will see, there's 4 there. The thing of this is, these 2 silver batteries to the back if I pulled them out right now, you would realize the well there is deeper and there's 2 batteries underneath that. The Dartzone Spectrum is running off of 6 AA batteries. What does that do? Well, a lot, as it turns out. This shoots at about 100 FPS, all right? Which is light enough to use indoors with kids. My nephews, who are 9 and 6, can deal with it. But it is significantly stronger output-wise than, let's say, your average Nerf motorized dart blaster. So this is about 100 FPS, all right? You're doing pretty darn good if you have a Nerf motorized dart blaster doing 70, okay? And yes, the 30 FPS difference does make a big, big difference, all right? So that's basically all of it. I'll go over real quick. So let me get the magazine back in there. So you have the magazine release. On a motorized dart blaster, you have 2 triggers. The lower one, which you see right here, is the rev trigger. They call it a rev trigger because, and by the way, you can't rev the blaster if you have the jam door open. That gets the motors and the flywheels going. So basically you have a flywheel moving this way up top and one moving this way down bottom. They're pinching the heads of the darts and the darts are being flung out. So with a blaster like this, you have to rev first on the bottom trigger, and then to fire a dart, you pull the top trigger as you would on a normal firearm. So that basically covers what this is all about. Personal opinion on the product. I like the grip. The grip is big enough, okay? The rev trigger is a little bit longer, comes down a little bit farther than other motorized blasters. It is at first a little odd because normally I only use one finger for that, and it's coming down and hitting my next finger down right here, all right? It's a little bit longer, but after a little while, I didn't really notice it anymore, so it's definitely not a big deal. All right, handle's big enough for adult. The stock is not. The stock is nowhere close, even fully extended, the stock is not. But I'm going to show you what I do about that. But before we get to how I run this, let me just say 2 things. First of all, this has not been modified in any way. I did not modify this. Only thing I did to the actual blaster itself, there is a faux barrel that is separate from this outer casing. This outer casing had a very slight lip on the inside of the barrel. With the flywheels spinning, since you don't have an actual sized barrel, there is a little deviation with the darts. Not a big deal unless they hit that lip. And then the little deviation becomes a big deviation. So I did take a Dremel and remove that lip. Otherwise, there has been nothing done to this, but aesthetically, I don't run it like this. I don't run it. I've done upgrades. I don't want to call them just appearance upgrades because they work better for me, but I haven't done anything to the inside. I haven't changed out motors. I haven't changed the pusher. The blaster at its base is still the stock form, okay? So the faux scope, that goes, all right? The 10 dart magazine, that goes. It's sort of, I don't know. It sort of feels and looks cheap, but that's not the sticking point for me. The sticking point is that it's only 10 rounds, all right? Once you take that off, you can get to The foregrip, I just don't like the way it looks. It wobbles around, it moves a bit, okay? And I don't like the way it looks. And then this stock is, it's just too tight, even fully extended. Now, mind you, these products are being made, especially this one, is being made for children. So, I mean, for your 6-year-old, it's probably fine. But for me, it's just a little bit too, so this goes. Now, you're left with the actual blaster itself. Now, it has a stock attachment point, right here. Unfortunately, it is not in line with the attachment points for Nerf products. Not such a big deal because I don't use Nerf stocks either, but all the aftermarket stocks that are made for Nerf blasters, the adult stocks, you can't use them on this. That said, there is another blaster that has, by this company, that has stocks you can switch out between the two. The other blaster is the Villainator, and I use the stock off it because it is about an inch or two longer. But before I show you how I run this, let me just say, one, this is $19.99 at Walmart. Two, it does come with 10 darts, okay, but you're going to want to buy a refill pack, which varies in price, but you can get a 100 pack for probably $7 or $8. These are the darts. This is the actual package that comes with the blaster. They are Dartzone waffle tips, which are excellent darts due to weight reasons, but also for a motorized blaster, they have heads that are as wide as the foam. This is a good thing because having the head of the dart, the blue part there, that wide, really allows the flywheels in a motorized blaster to grab onto the dart and send it, okay? So $19.99, and I will be linking to the Walmart.com page in the description, all right? It's a good deal all around. Mind you, let me put it this way. I bought this and a 12-pack of AA batteries. Upgrade ones, they're gone now, but upgrade Duracells. And I was like, okay, well, I'll have 6 for the blaster and a backup 6. Yeah, the 12 batteries were like $4 less than the blaster itself. So, I mean, it's 20 bucks, all right? It's 20 bucks. The plastic and whatnot is a little thinner than a Hasbro product. When I say Hasbro product, Nerf, it's Nerf, all right? It's a little thinner, okay? The motors don't sound as smooth. They make more of a noise, but they are also spinning the wheels at a faster rate. So, yeah, I mean, it's not a Nerf, it's not a Hasbro product, all right? Yeah, the plastic's not as thick, all right? The motors are not as quiet, although a lot stronger, and some of the attachments that I just removed are, you could say they sort of feel cheap. For your boy or overly aggressive girl, it'll be fine. They'll love it. I'm talking from an adult standpoint, all right? So, I take the Villainator stock, which is this guy, and it fits perfectly. Whoa, sorry, I just hit my mic line. Apologies. So, it's about 1.5 to 2 inches longer, okay? Now, that I took off. I am replacing it with a worker part. It's a foregrip for a pump, for a springer, okay? And I'm going to have to actually hit this here because there's a bolt that I'm not going to tighten up on this to keep it in place. Okay? And then I'm going with a pull mag worker 12. You can actually get 14 rounds in this, but 12 round magazine in the pull mag style. This is how I run the product. Now, those thinking, wait a minute, yeah, but how much is that other gun for the stock? The other one is a Tommy gun looking, I think it's in one of the opening videos for this playlist, 40 round super drum pump springer. It's not overly accurate, but it's interesting and it's a good way to get young kids into like Springer dart guns, all right? It does take a little bit of pull. Until recently, my 6-year-old nephew had a little bit of an issue priming it, but it comes with a stock, and the stocks between the two are interchangeable. So this is how I'm running. Gives it a little bit longer here, 2 to 4 extra rounds in here. I carry 2 extras of these if I'm playing with the kids. This part right here, I do not know if you can buy by itself anymore, unfortunately. All right, I will look for it on Amazon when I go to look for this mag, but I'm not sure. I got this off of my Prophecy R kit, which is a worker blaster that you build yourself, and it was originally the pump grip. When I upgraded that blaster, and it had a much stronger spring, I had to get a full vertical hand grip to pump it, and this was left over and discarded to the side. So that's why this is on there, but it does work. Usually it is tightened up by an Allen wrench point right there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I am now going to attempt to pause this and show you this firing. And hopefully, now that we're 16 minutes into this review, I won't mess up, basically. So let me just pause this first. So where's the pause button? And I am back, hopefully. Okay, so what you're looking at is basically a shooting range that I've made in what was my living room. Down there, it's 20 feet away. That white square hanging in the middle of that white lined edged cardboard box is 4 inches by 4 inches. Now, as you can see, there was some variation on that, and it's usually actually not that bad, but there was some definite variation, and I'm thinking I may be going a little bit low on the batteries. I ran out during a game last week, and to try to up the power levels, I threw 2 of a different kind of battery. I didn't replace them all out, I just what I had on me, which is why when I opened the tray, you saw 2 different kinds of batteries in there. So I think what I need to do, but I probably don't have right here right now, is I need to put 6 new batteries, like a full tray of new batteries. But all of that said, that still right there was more accurate than you would get with a Nerf motorized blaster running Nerf darts. And the main reason there isn't so much the Nerf blaster itself, it's the Nerf darts. The Nerf darts are absolutely terrible, okay? It's because they have that one hole in the end, and when they fly through the air, the tip compresses, pushing air out that one hole. When that happens, that air acts as, have you ever seen like a movie about like spacecraft and they have the outshoots of air for like slight directional change? It's sort of like that, only with your Nerf dart. The Adventure Force or Dartzone waffle tips. I'm sorry. You can see all the way through them. There's air because they are compressing too, but there's air going out all sides and it's all evened and balanced. So, this has been my review and my overlook of the way I run it of my Adventure Force Spectrum in red. Again, I will link it in the description. That said, I don't have any deal with Dartzone or Walmart or anything like that, okay? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just letting you know where you can find it. If you go there and you buy one, I'm not getting a commission or anything like that. Anyway, so if you want a second opinion, look around on YouTube. There's plenty of them and people with much more experience with this type of review than me. Many, many, many times over. There are Nerf reviewers that have been going for at least a decade. Anyway, Adventure Force Spectrum by Dartzone, available in Walmarts. I am the Suit&Tie, Dip&ChewGuy. I do hope you all are well. I hope this video somewhat comes out okay. Sorry if it's gone really, really long. I will be returning in next week. Do take care of yourselves, and as always, God bless.